We are starting with the last 24 hours on our star, and we find the last day may have continued to be devoid of larger flares, but a couple filaments did snap away from the corona, and there are several more turning to face Earth with the active regions. Two dark patches you see are the coronal holes. They have an excellent chance of impacting Earth with enhanced solar wind on Friday or Saturday, with concurrent possibilities of enhanced geomagnetic activity. We will continue to monitor the sunspots. We'll keep an eye on the solar wind as we head towards the weekend. And of course, we'll be watching these various plasma filaments. They range from tiny ropes on the outskirts of sunspot groups to a massive one we can see towering over the incoming limb on the left. Let's go next to the oceans. Big storms in the West Pacific and Northwest Indian Ocean. Good news on the first is it's expected to bend northward before hitting the Philippines and then back northeast away from Japan. Meanwhile, the Indian Ocean storm is sliding slightly northward. We'll have to see how its movement shifts as it approaches land near either Africa or the Middle East. We hit the topic of superflaring yesterday, and a good paper here gives us some rough guesses about how often such major solar storms are expected to occur. Something like the Carrington event every 200 years, something likely in the X100 range every 500 to 1,000 years, and then the biggest impacts every 4,000 years or so. Now that may differ a bit from the 3,000 and 6,000 year cycles we've identified in that previous paper, but not as much as it sounds. It essentially confirms that the major superflare cycles of the sun should be on those millennial time scales, which is precisely what we've been expecting.